Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. As you guys know, Ethereum is my biggest investment in cryptocurrency. I really am bullish on Ethereum for the long term as I believe that there's more fundamental use case on Ethereum than any other crypto. Today I'm going to dive in and share with you guys my favorite charts for Ethereum and why this thing is destined for new all-time highs very soon. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my ultimate Ethereum chart that's going to perfectly explain why we're so bullish and why some serious upside potential is going to be underway very soon. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Make sure to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one provided for you here. And make sure you guys sign up and join the fastest growing and the very best Discord community out there in crypto. My server has over 17,500 followers and it's growing so fast. Make sure you guys sign up and join today by clicking inside the description of this video. And there you're going to find the invitation link to my Discord server. On the Discord server, I also offer my VIP content like the video course and Signal. So if you guys want to follow every trade that I take, copy every single bit of my long-term portfolio, as well as get access to private VIP videos that I only make for members of my Discord server, then make sure you stay all the way to the end of this video because then I'm going to take a couple minutes to explain how you guys can get signed up, the pros of doing so, and what it's going to take to get you guys going today. One final thought before we jump into the video today, guys, is to make sure to download my free ebook. This is made specifically for new guys getting into the market that want to understand a little bit more of the ins and outs of trading and investing. I wish I would have had this ebook when I first got involved, and I know it's going to help you guys out a lot, so that's why it's free. Links are provided for you in the description to download. And with all that being said, guys, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Alrighty guys, so here we are taking a look at Ethereum. I honestly don't even want to talk about Bitcoin today because Ethereum is leading. Whatever I talk about whatever I say with Ethereum, it really applies to Bitcoin. So just be aware of that. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about today was just some of my favorite charts when it comes to Ethereum. I'm extremely bullish on Ethereum and we're seeing it actually outperform Bitcoin. This is really good and it's actually going to bring up a point that I made in one of my last Ethereum videos. We're going to talk a little bit about the FBTC pair. We're going to analyze the strengths and the weaknesses that we see there. Are we going to be seeing Ethereum and altcoins outperform, or, you know, is this just going to be a short-term pullback before Bitcoin once again asserts its dominance? We're going to be covering all of this stuff because we're at a really important time with Ethereum today, and I just wanted to make sure I'm covering all of that. Now, what I wanted to share with you guys first and foremost is my most important chart with Ethereum. This thing is going to really help simplify a lot of things for you, and it's going to expand on the bigger cycle that we're seeing in Ethereum. Because one of the things that I think that people are failing to understand is they're failing to grasp the idea that there can be an insane amount of money that can flood into these markets. So with Bitcoin sitting at about $500 million in market cap, a lot of people are kind of underestimating the potential that there could actually be trillions of dollars flooding into this. A lot of people are expecting, you know, Ethereum, it peaked at about $1,400. They're expecting it to maybe hit $5,000 in this cycle. And to be quite honest, I just think that these people are being a little bit too conservative. And we're actually going to be seeing an immense amount of money flooding into these markets. And so even though Bitcoin's at 500 billion, you know, Bitcoin itself could have a $5 trillion market cap, or who knows? Maybe Bitcoin itself has a market cap. Maybe Bitcoin itself has a market cap of gold. These are all scenarios that we could see play out, which is why I wanted to cover to you guys, talk about the big picture cycle today with Ethereum, because this is really going to map out really my thoughts on the long term, why I think that we're going to be seeing some very high price targets for Ethereum, and really why we shouldn't be underestimating that. Now guys, what I wanted to cover today is I wanted to share with you guys an old cycle that reminds me a lot of what we're seeing with Ethereum right now, and that is Dash. So if we come back over and take a look at Dash, you guys are going to see that this is the original Dash market cycle from all the way back in 2015 to 2016, and it looks very much the same of what we're seeing to Ethereum today. And I wanted to bring you guys this chart because it's going to explain how cycles have looked in the years past and how they're pretty much lining up exactly the same this cycle around. This is kind of the reason why I'm not super shaken out by anything that happens in the markets. You know, it goes up and it goes down and there's very volatile swings, but ultimately I'm always bullish because everything that we've seen has just continued to follow a much more bullish market structure. Now guys, what we saw with Dash in the last cycle, we had this first little market cycle here, we topped out, and then we started this long correction, right? We corrected for about a couple years worth of just this accumulation phase. And then once 2016 rolled around, that's actually where we started to build up. And we went about a full year period of time where Dash just kind of rallied and ventured closer back to those all-time high marks. We hit those all-time high marks. We have one more correction back down. And then this is ultimately what takes us into that new cycle. And we can see how parabolic things got shortly after. And this is virtually, the same thing that I'm expecting to play out here inside of Ethereum today. And so if we actually take Ethereum and we overlay the Dash chart on top of it, you guys are going to start to understand what I mean here. So we take this and we actually overlay it on top of the Ethereum chart. You guys are going to start to see exactly what I'm talking about here, because it's virtually the same type of market cycle. Now, this is the way that these cycles are going to work, guys, and that's the thing that people are failing to understand here. Just because two coins can be different doesn't mean that their market cycles are different, and that's actually why I like to trade based off technical analysis, is because every coin is going to be different. Yes, there could be some clones, but more often than not, there's all these different cryptocurrencies out there, right? The way I try and distinguish which ones are going to be the best from the worst are based off of how their market cycles look. And this is virtually what we see with, and this is exactly what we're seeing today inside of Ethereum, is we're seeing exact same market cycles of the old, like the one we saw in Dash, these big pumps, these crashes, we accumulate for a couple years, and then we start the cycle over. And we can see that we're pretty much just doing the exact same thing again, almost to the T. And it's really interesting to see all of this, because this is actually what I'm expecting to play out in Ethereum today. Overall, I'm expecting us to continue to rally up. Whether we go to the all-time high like we did with Dash, Dash went all the way up to this all-time high mark before a correction, or whether we just come up here to about $1,000 and correct. Either way, it doesn't really change anything. This is what I'm going to be playing my cards with Ethereum, and this is how my trading plan actually goes. This is what I've been expecting the whole time, more or less, was us to continue to rally up, to close out the new year right around that all-time high mark, and then we should have some type of a correction after, and then probably around spring of 2021, somewhere right around there, that's when we would be getting that blast off into new all-time highs and going into price discovery, because that's pretty much how the last cycle worked, right? This thing bottoms around November 2016, right around the new year towards spring, we're actually breaking out and starting new all-time highs and going into price discovery. And so this is kind of what I've been watching for Ethereum. I was watching to see if we were going to continue to follow how we have in the last cycle, which we really have up to this point. Based off the last cycle, we pretty much closed right around that new year at all-time highs as far as Bitcoin goes. Ethereum was already in a price discovery, but it hadn't really had a prior cycle. And so Bitcoin was already at these all-time high marks to close out the new year. This is pretty much what we're seeing today inside of Ethereum. I expect Ethereum to continue to rally up. Guys, when we look at this chart today, let's hide the drawing tools real quick. When we look at this chart, I've always been, ever since we were all the way back down in here, especially when we were flipping this resistance at about 340, I started to tell you guys that the next target is $800. And we really don't even have a resistance until that point. And that's pretty much right exactly what we've done. We're getting closer and closer to my target at $800. We're about to hit it right now. We most likely will within the next couple days. But do I think that we're going to top out at $800, which has been my target? To be quite honest, the way it's looking, I think we're going to actually go up higher than this. It looks more like $1,000 is going to be the logical target. This $800 level, it just doesn't seem like that's going to be the blow off top, because we really haven't seen any type of major parabolic pushes. Yes, this candle is quite steep, but as it goes, we would expect to see something a lot bigger for some type of a blow off top move, which I would expect to play out something similar to what we saw in Dash, where we pretty much just consolidated, we had these little short-term corrections, and then finally, we can see that we went in this move, and everything was virtually parabolic straight up. I think that we're in that phase, but we still need one more strong push. And if this follows, like how the Dash cycle did, this sees us being at around, $1,000 before the top of this. And that's really what I'm going to be watching out for. As far as this goes, guys, Ethereum could be anywhere from $800 all the way up to $1,400 to close out the year. It really is hard to say. It is possible Ethereum could hit these all-time highs, and like we saw with Dash, where it came up, hit the all-time highs, and then we got that correction. We could very easily see the exact same thing play out again today. I would not be surprised to see that. And so I just want you guys to be aware of all of this, be aware of all of the pathways that we could go, so that you're not confused if you see us go a different way. Plan for all scenario so that we can be ahead of the market and we can be profitable together. And this is really what I'm seeing, guys. To close out the next year, what I'm going to be watching for, to close out this year specifically, I think that we're going to be finishing out this move. We're going to be heading upwards from $800 to $1,000. Once we hit these resistance levels up here, I would expect us to have a short-term correction. Where's this correction going to go? I don't really know. We're going to have to watch and see, but I would expect some type of correction. This might be where we see Bitcoin correct all the way back down to the all-time highs. You know, just trying to project in my head. And then ultimately, that's where we're going to see 2021 being the year of the parabolic rise, being the year of price discovery, where we pretty much just do this type of a move, right? Very, very parabolic. We go, you know, who knows how high we go, to be honest. But this is what we should be expecting to see play out here inside of Ethereum. And so I just wanted to give you guys this chart. I wanted to share with you guys how identical this cycle really is to many of the prior cycles, which is why the best thing you guys can do for yourself is take your favorite coins, look at some of the prior cycles of some of the old high caps, and see what your coins are doing. See how they're performing. See if they're similar or different. And this is how you're going to be able to stay profitable. So now, guys, let's dive into one more chart that I wanted to share with you guys, because this is going to share whether altcoins and Ethereum are going to actually be outperforming Bitcoin over the next couple weeks. Alrighty, guys, so here we are taking a look at Ethereum on the Bitcoin pair. And this is really, really important because... guys, because ultimately, if this chart uptrends, Ethereum and altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. And we're at a very important part where the Bitcoin dominance chart is actually broken out, right? And this was very bad, and I highlighted this in my last video, and I pinpointed how this was bad for altcoins in the short term, but I said how this was good for altcoins in the long term, because ultimately this was going to mean more money was going to flood into the altcoins. And so Bitcoin dominance has been breaking out, but the Ethereum Bitcoin pair is looking bullish. And so in my opinion, we could still be at a point where Ethereum Bitcoin actually starts to go up, and the Ethereum and the Bitcoin dominance chart actually goes down. Even though we are breaking out, you know, I think that we could still see a reversal here in the FBTC pair, which I'm going to cover right now. Now, all of this entire cycle is just one cycle, and that's the same thing with this entire dollar chart as well. This entire thing for Ethereum has just been one cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, and 5. We've only had 3 impulse waves, meaning this entire correction was just us completing wave 1. This entire move is just one cycle. The same thing can be said here on the Bitcoin pair. And if we actually take our Elliott waves, I'm going to map them out for you guys. This is wave 1. This is wave 3. This is wave 5, right? So this entire move is just 3 impulse waves. This whole thing is just a one-wave cycle, followed by an ABC correction. A, B, C. Now, how do we figure out if the C wave is complete? Well, it's got to have 5 impulse waves in the C leg. Impulse wave 1, impulse wave 3, impulse wave 5. So, guys, this entire move in the FBTC pair is a completed one wave, right? So, with a one-wave cycle, we finished 5 impulse waves down. And so this should already be completed. Based off of Elliott wave theory, this should already be a completed move. And so what that means is we should already be starting the next major impulse. So what this is saying is that we won't actually be going for more downside targets. This should be breaking up higher. And the reason for this is because of the massive inverse head and shoulder that we're seeing play out here. And we're actually seeing that dip get bought up very strongly. So see this big wick down in here? This was us retesting this previous support. So if we take this over here, you guys are going to start to understand. We had this major level. This was resistance over here in the prior cycle. This was support here. This was resistance, and now it's acting as support again. We got bought up off of this support very strongly, which is exactly what we want to see. We saw a very strong wick that formed in here, and we got this bounce off of this level. This is exactly what we want to see. Now, what we want to see from here is us to continue on in this trend. We want to see this continue to go up higher, and further on end up rallying as we break out of this inverse head and shoulder, because the next line in the sand is going to be here at about 0.04 Ethereum. 0.04 Bitcoin. That's what we want to see. We need to see us break back above this level. And then once we break above this, that's going to be the confirmed breakout of this inverse head and shoulder. And that will be the confirmed breakout of our entire bear market. So this will be a reversal, right? And then that's ultimately what's going to be taking us into the altcoins outperforming Bitcoin. And so from where we're at today, you know, we don't really have a logical target until I'd say at the bare minimum about 80%, but I think that it's likely we're going to be hitting upwards of 200% before we see a pullback. And so this is showing that Ethereum is going to be outperforming Bitcoin to about a 200% gain. And so this is really cool, guys. And I do believe that we're going to start to see this chart continue to go up based off of the reaction we saw on support. Very big wick. We want to continue to see the dip get bought up. So as long as that happens, I think that this trend is going to be shifting. We're going to see one big push in Ethereum. And, you know, as Ethereum is actually rallying up much higher, as we're starting to rally to these all-time highs, I think that this is the point where we're going to see that shift from money flooding into Ethereum rather than Bitcoin, because ultimately the gains are going to be a lot higher with Ethereum. So anyways, guys, this is the video I had for you. I just wanted to cover what I'm seeing with the Ethereum cycle. I wanted to cover the BTC pair. I wanted to cover the dollar pair. I just wanted to give you guys all of my thoughts and perspectives as to explain why I'm so bullish on Ethereum. Because what's coming, guys, is going to be such a parabolic move, and I don't want you guys to miss out on this. Ethereum is going to be a big driver of value over this next year, and you guys are going to want to make sure you have high exposure to this. At least I do. Ethereum is my biggest position. I'm going to continue to play it as follows. Now, guys, as we wrap up this video, I want to take a couple minutes to explain how you guys can sign up for the video course and signals for the people that want to. Now, guys, when you sign up for my Discord, I offer two different packages. I offer the video course, which is 20 educational videos that are teach you guys the ins and outs of trading and investing. And then I also offer my signals and the ability to copy every trade that I take, follow my exact long-term portfolio, as well as get access to private VIP videos that I only make for members inside of my signals. Now, with these two packages, you guys can purchase them together or separate. If you can only pick one, I always recommend going with the signals first, because the signals are going to be the way for you guys to copy my portfolio, follow every trade that I take, so that you guys can actually copy and make these same profits with me. The best thing you're going to be able to do for yourself in this cycle is follow somebody that knows what they're doing, and by you copying my portfolio, you guys are going to be in some very sound investments that are going to consistently outperform. So you guys should really check that out. Links are provided for you in the description. Links are provided for you in the description to jump in and sign up on my website. Now, aside from all of that, guys, if you don't want to sign up for any of my VIP stuff, I do have a free ebook linked in the description. So if you're a new guy getting into these markets and you want to understand more of the ins and outs of trading and investing, download this free ebook. It's not going to cost you anything, and I can promise you it's going to help you guys out a lot. It's an ebook I wish I would have had when I first got into the markets, and I know it's going to save you guys. So once again, links are provided for you in the description to download. Links are provided for you in the description to sign up for my VIP. And with all that being said, guys, I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.